Welcome back to the broadcast. Great to have you. So right now, Murray, it looks like that these elections have been credible, and if we hear that is true, moving forward, this would be a giant leap into the unknown for Myanmar, and it would interrupt almost, what is it, 5 decades of military rule. What would you credit the vote to?
Well, people were really desperate have been for a long time to have a government, civilian government, not run by the military. Ultimately, the elections happened today, but from going forward, we now have the parliamentarians, the lower and upper house are going to decide on who's the vice president, who they're going to nominate for vice president. There's going to be 3 nominations, and then they're going to vote on who's going to be president. This horse trading is going to go on between now and probably sometime in February or March. And so, yes, today seemed very peaceful and a lot of enthusiasm, but we're going to have to see what happens once the numbers come in for the parties and how the horse trading turns out in the end.
So Ms. Suu Kyi has spoken out on Thursday, and she said that she would be above the president if her party won. Tell us what she means by this.
Well, she can't run for president because she's barred under the Constitution because she has 2 foreign sons with foreign passports. She means that if her party wins, that they will nominate a president. Hopefully, he or she will get elected. But because she's the head of the party, she will be very influential in how the person runs the country. Obviously, some people on the other side, the ruling party now, have said that's kind of unconstitutional to have somebody above the party. But we're going to have to see how this turns out in the days ahead.
You know, there's a lot of excitement in the streets, big crowds out there. Could all of this rapid change lead to some type of civil unrest in your eyes?
It could. There's an awful lot of opportunities in the horse trading, as I mentioned, to figure out who's the president and in the days ahead. There were people that were not on the voter list. That was a problem. 25% of the parliament is still controlled by the military. They're appointed delegates. That's creating some dissatisfaction. There's a group of nationalist Buddhist monks, Mabata they're called. They very much called on people to vote for the ruling party against the opposition NLD Aung San Suu Kyi's party. If she does very well, they could instigate some unrest. So we really, there's a lot of opportunities in the days ahead for things to go off the rails a little bit.
Part of the NSD platform obviously includes a financial upheaval. When would the country see some real benefits in economic reforms?
Well, I mean, economic reforms take a long time. The ruling party now did a lot of things, but it hasn't really totally taken off. The NLD has some of its own reforms that it's proposing. I think foreign investors are very much watching to see what's happening. They want to see if this election was stable. They want to see how this turns out, ultimately who the president is, what his or her cabinet is, and then decide if this is a good place to invest.
And what about the relationship with China and its effect?
Well, as you did in the lead-up, Aung San Suu Kyi, the opposition leader, has gone to China in the middle of this year. She met President Xi Jinping. They had a good meeting. I think any leader that's going to be elected recognizes that China is an important neighbor. They have a very important economic relationship. But I think what's changing is that in the past, under the sanctions from the West, the country only had to rely on China. Now it's trying to broaden its relations, not exclude China, but have good relations with its Southeast Asian neighbors, Japan, Europe, United States.
Murray Hiebert with CSIS, thank you for coming in. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.